Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be starting this webinar here in just a couple of minutes at 10 o'clock, so sit tight and we'll be with you shortly. All right, I think we're going to get going today. Thanks for joining us, guys. My name is Ian Leslie. I'm with Seller Active. We're going to talk to you today about how to combine fast shipping and smart repricing to capture summer spend, make more money while people are looking for things come summertime. If you could do a little bit by introducing yourselves and telling us your name, where you're calling in from today or where you're watching this webinar from, and what you do for work, what type of products you sell, whether or not you use Seller Active, whether or not you use Deliver, that'd be awesome. And then we can kind of interact from there with you guys. You'll also notice that we have a couple of polls up for you, trying to get an idea of what you're most interested in, also how much you know about Amazon repricing already. And if you could interact with those, that would be awesome as well. As I said, my name's Ian Leslie. I'm with Seller Active. We're really excited to host this webinar along with Deliver. I kind of handle the webinars on our side of things. This is our first video webinar, so stick with us here, and hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two. Really, what we're here to talk about today, though, is e-commerce and Amazon sellers. Summer's coming up. It's a busy time, especially for outdoor goods and different things like that. And really, everyone is trying to make as much money as they can. There's more than a million sellers that are joining Amazon every year, and there's only 3% of them making over $100,000 a year. The reason they are doing that and the reason sellers are making that money is because of the Amazon Buy Box. If you know anything about the Buy Box, it's where 82% of all sales happen. And the combination of fast shipping, good customer service, and smart repricing technology is going to give you the best opportunity to make the most sales through the Buy Box. So you'll see another poll. I think it should be up, and it's about Amazon repricing. Like, how much do you know about it? None or very little, enough to get the job done, or experience in repricing. And I think that popped up now. So if you guys could go ahead and answer that, we should be able to kind of cover that, because the idea of this is to talk to you about some of the ways to help, capture buy boxes, drive your prices up, and different things like that. And it looks like we have enough to get the job done, a little bit of none or very little, and one that's experienced in repricing. So essentially, for those of you who don't know, the buy box is that bar on Amazon that's on the right-hand side. And rather than you having to, essentially go and select different sellers or look at other sellers that are selling, you simply just say add to cart. I know myself personally, when I go to Amazon and purchase something, I'm always utilizing the buy box. I don't look at other sellers. And so it's really essential to capture that. As I said, that's where 82% of all sales happen. And there's a lot of different things that go into capturing that. Amazon's always tweaking their algorithm and figuring out different ways to put different sellers in there. Sellers are consistently filtering through there as well. There are tons of different factors that go into capturing the buy box, but some of the main ones are obviously, whether you're Prime, seller fulfilled Prime, your lead time to ship, the customer feedback that you have, obviously the price of your items, how many reviews you have, how many inventory, what your inventory level is in stock. There's just tons of different factors that go into play with it. It's always changing. People are always popping in and out of there. And really the secret is to try to sell your product for the highest price possible to have the buy box. Because what you'll notice is that a lot of times the sellers that are selling, say, below, are actually selling at a lower price point. In order for you to make the most money you can on Amazon, you want to have the buy box captured. And that's where a combination of, Deliver and their shipping capabilities, their seller fulfilled Prime, and a lot of things that Michael's going to talk about, combined with our repricing algorithms, are really going to help you out and help you drive, your prices up so you can make more money while you have it captured. You don't want to be in the 20% of sales that aren't in the buy box. So I know myself personally, when I go to Amazon, kind of like I mentioned, you're not really looking at all of the different factors that go into account. There are some people that might be a little more methodical than me that go through and filter through all the sellers. But I know, Father's Day is coming up. I want to buy something for my dad. I'm just going to go to the buy box, click it, and I'm going to purchase that product there. Most sellers aren't actually looking at the price changes unless they're really methodical or they're pointed out that, hey, there's going to be some lower prices available for you. If you could, I think we have a question for you that says, does your Amazon business successfully capture the buy box? And are you happy with your buy box capture rate? If we could get some answers on that, that would be great. And I think the reason why we're asking this, right, is because, as we said, 82% of people are captured, 82% of sales go through the buy box. And so if you don't have a strategy to have that buy box captured, you're going to run into some issues when it comes to, capturing the sales and driving your prices up. This kind of leads into like what Seller Active can do for you and how our, buy box algorithms and repricing methods can help drive your prices up and help you capture more buy boxes. Probably a lot of you are probably familiar with automated repricing software, but that's kind of one of our specialties and one of the things that we do to help you capture more sales on Amazon. Automated repricing is essentially, a tool or strategies that you can put into place to help consistently change your prices to beat competition. We have a lot of different methods that can help you out with that. We have, say, velocity pricing methods where you can set sales goals for yourself and your prices can rise or drop accordingly. You can price a penny below your competitor. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And essentially, our tools are going out and pricing your products consistently for you every 2 to 3 minutes. But really, where we really make our money and where the bread and butter is with algorithmic repricing, right? So what you can do is select an algorithmic buy box repricing strategy. You're going to set your minimum and maximum prices. You can set, your shipping costs to make sure you're not falling below your profit margins. And really from there, you just check your strategy and make sure it's optimizing for you. Our algorithmic repricing is specifically focused on the buy box. And so that's where we really advise people that are using someone like Deliver or using FBA to utilize. Essentially, what we want to do is sell your product in the buy box for the highest price possible, while taking all the factors into account that go into capturing the buy box. So, say you have 15 on hand and your competitor has 3. We want them to sell out, and then you could sell for a higher price point so you can make more money while you have the buy box, because remember, 82% of all sales are going through there. Our algorithm will, it's essentially self-learning. So you put it into place, and then within the parameters, it's going to start figuring out the best prices to put you in the buy box, and it's going to adjust your price to win the buy box. Most importantly, though, right, is a lot of repricers just price your products down, and we call it like a race to the bottom, so to speak. Seller Active is more focused on driving prices up. So when you have the buy box captured, we're actually going to drive your prices up for you so you can make more money. Once you fall out of the buy box, our system's going to consistently start pricing that product again, so you can, essentially get that buy box captured again, and then from there, start driving your price up again so you can make more money while you have it. Kind of like I just mentioned, Amazon repricing software, a lot of them are races to the bottom. We've really tried to figure out how to maximize your profit for you. And in conjunction with, Deliver and Seller Fulfilled Prime and being FBA, you're pretty much guaranteed to be selling your products for the highest price possible while you have the buy box captured. And just a couple of examples of this, right? So let's look at this product here. It's a textbook. You'll see that the buy box has it for $144.47, while there's 18 new sellers that are selling it, one selling at $138.99. There's tons of examples like this. And really, someone like myself, I'm just simply going to buy this, add it to my cart, and be good to go. I'm not going to worry about the other people there. And so it's really important that you have strategies like this in place in order to make sure that you're capturing the buy box. Another one here, right? So you'll notice that this is selling for $32.99. There's a bunch of sellers that are selling this for as much as $23.18. And so it's really important, to ensure that you have the highest price possible while you have the buy box captured, because you can be leaving a lot of money on the table. I kind of touched upon earlier, we have other rules that are available for you as well. So, velocity pricing. Let's say you're a private label seller and you want to sell maybe 100 items within a 3-day period. Well, if you don't hit that sales goal, you will actually drop your price. Or if you sell more than it, you'll drive your prices up. So you can kind of test price elasticity on the marketplace to make sure that you're selling your products for the optimal price point for the consumer. You also have rule-based repricing. That's kind of more like, I want to price a penny below my lowest competitor. If my competitors run out of inventory, sell me at a higher price until they come back onto the marketplace. And so we give you, a lot of strategies that you can utilize. But I'll consistently hit on it. If you call and talk to us, I'll always recommend that you use that algorithmic buy box method, because it's for sure, the surefire way to make sure that you're in the buy box and that your prices are selling for the highest price point possible while you have it. The benefits of using automated repricing software, particularly Seller Active, we're going to send price updates to Amazon every 46 seconds. It's typically going to take them 2 to 3 minutes to accept that price change and reflect it on the marketplace. But more importantly than that, our customers have a 72% average buy box capture. So you can rest assured, if you're using, our algorithmic buy box method and you are Prime or Seller Fulfilled Prime, you're going to have the buy box captured the majority of the time, and you're going to be selling it at the highest price point possible. If you don't have a repricer and you put ours into place, within 60 days of implementing it, you're going to see a 22% jump in your revenue on average. We have some customers that have seen a lot higher than that. And when you put something like Deliver into place, you're pretty much guaranteed to see more money, per sale. So, I think it's really beneficial to put an automated repricing software into place. I think it's beneficial to utilize something like Seller Active. And, on top of that, we have it for other channels as well. So it's not only Amazon that we reprice on. We're one of the few that has a repricer for Walmart. We also do repricing on eBay, but they don't have a buy box. So with Walmart, our customers actually see a higher buy box capture rate. And, we're one of the few that has it available there. And not only can we reprice for you, but we have a lot of tools that will help you list products out to these channels simultaneously. And of course, it interacts pretty seamlessly with Deliver. So there's tons of different tools we have available for you. but especially for the summertime or say holiday season coming up, you really want to have something in place that's going to help you capture the buy box, and you're pretty much guaranteed that Seller Active is a good option for you. And without further ado, I mean, I'll let Michael take it away because Deliver's got a bunch of awesome stuff that he'll talk to you about.
Yeah, so we'll talk about on the fast shipping side. I mean, it's pretty intertwined with repricing, especially for some of the biggest resellers. And so, you know, when we get into it, we're going to talk about, you know, first of all, okay, what is Deliver? It's an FBA-like fulfillment service for your online channels. So whether it's Walmart, eBay, Amazon, wherever you're fulfilling, Deliver has a really kind of simple fulfillment service that you can use that can get you access to these fast shipping programs, whether it's Prime, eBay Fast and Free, and Walmart free 2-day shipping. And then we'll talk about, you know, pricing and some of the ways you can get started. So, you know, first, I think let's go into the concept of a fast shipping tag. So what is a fast shipping tag? And, you know, the way we classified a fast shipping tag is as like Prime. So Prime is like a fast shipping tag, right? So it denotes fast shipping, and it's a badge that sits on the listing, basically saying this is fast. And so, but a tag though is not just a badge. What it is really an index on that listing in terms of how it gets indexed in search. So, and also on the buy box. So when you look at items for Prime, you can filter by Prime items. When you go into the buy box, if you match on price, items with that have Prime will get preferential treatment. And so the fast shipping tag does so much more. It's basically impacting visibility on the marketplace, and is one of the biggest factors outside of price to really impact that ranking. And here you can see Walmart's fast shipping program. It's called Walmart 2-day shipping. They've rebranded it recently to 2-day delivery. This is what it looks like. So it's a green badge, now it's black. And it shows up on the listings. You can filter by it on the left. And then it obviously very highly impacts search ranking. We've seen it for an item where we've turned off 2-day, then we've turned it back on to 2-day. We've seen an item on a really popular search term in the shoes category go from bottom of page 3 or bottom of page 2 or 3 to top of page 1, exactly top row of page 1 in a matter of seconds from adding the badge to removing the badge. So quite a bit of impact. You know, each fast shipping tag is indexed differently on search. If you have questions about, you know, different ones, different badges, you want us to focus on Walmart or eBay or Amazon, just let me know. Leave your questions on the right-hand side. So eBay has their own fast shipping program. It's called Fast and Free Guaranteed Buy. It's actually 2 different badges. And you can get Guaranteed Buy without Fast and Free if you are offering guaranteed 3-day delivery, but for paid. We do highly recommend you do free 3-day delivery. That's how you get Fast and Free and Guaranteed Buy. You get both badges because that does impact sales quite a bit. And it's similarly indexed in search, but as Ian mentioned, you know, it's not, eBay doesn't have a buy box. So it's more around, okay, how can you, you know, rank well in search when you look at the eBay marketplace. Definitely helps though. So then when we go through, let's go to the next part, Amazon Prime. So let's talk about that. You know, Deliver supports Amazon Prime if you want to get on to the Prime service, but it's through Seller Fulfilled Prime. So SFP is the program that we integrate into. And for SFP, you already have to be off the wait list. We cannot expedite your application on the Amazon SFP waitlist. But we do support SFP for sellers who are already approved for SFP. And what are the benefits of using Deliver for SFP versus some other tools? You know, number one is definitely you get 100%, you know, 95% coverage across the United States. So it's similar to coverage that you'd see with Walmart 2-day shipping with Deliver. And we also have some rates that make it really simple where it's a fixed rate cost regardless of where you're shipping to in the US. And that predictability makes it really easy to do SFP. When I was talking to a lot of sellers who were self-fulfilling Prime orders, you know, those are the 2 biggest issues. A lot of sellers didn't have that coverage across the country. And then also, you know, from a cost standpoint, it was very difficult for them to model it out. So, you know, with the Deliver Fulfilled Prime option, we take away a few of those challenges on coverage and on the pricing side. So Walmart free 2-day shipping, you know, for Deliver, on average, we measure orders per day. And on average, you see around a 2.56x increase in orders per day, having the badge versus not having the badge. Similar, you're going to have around national coverage when you're on that program. You get pre-approved access for Deliverr. So it's a little bit different than with SFP, where you have to get approved yourself. With Walmart, we can expedite that approval, and it's actually immediate. And then similarly, we have special Walmart rates for your 2-day orders. Then going into eBay Fast and Free Guaranteed Buy, that's around a 10 to 20% sales boost. It varies by listing, varies by search term, really. So it kind of looks at, in terms of what your competition looks like, that will vary. So if you're on it's not too competitive, or you don't have many other sellers on the search term you're competing for with Fast Free Guaranteed Buy, obviously that impact will be pretty significant. But if you're in a very high volume, very competitive search term, it'll be a little bit less. But definitely, it can't hurt. We talked about the variability, and then for that we also have pre-approved access, similar to with Walmart. And so it makes it easy for you to get up and running. I would say for most of our sellers, they're doing both Walmart and eBay because you have the same pool of inventory. It's efficient, it's easy to do, and that's been pretty common across our seller base. So let's go into some case studies, and we can talk about some of the different marketplaces. For us, we'll focus on Walmart and eBay case studies. We're still building out our SFP case studies. So far for SFP, if you have more questions around that, in terms of having the Prime badge, not having the Prime badge, we've seen around a 3 to 4x difference in sales, but we'll have some public case studies out in the next month or so. So going into this, let's go into Walmart first. We're talking about Earthwise Bags. This was a completely net new seller to Walmart. They came in, put everything on 2-day shipping, and we're able to get from 0 orders to 800 orders monthly pretty quickly, around 3 months. So, this is kind of the flywheel effect when you look at selling on Walmart. But this flywheel effect really applies to any marketplace. Each marketplace obviously has their own little intricacies, but the basic inner circle is, okay, you add items on 2-day shipping, you put some ad spend behind it, that gives you better visibility. In turn, better visibility gives you more sales, to adding more items on 2-day shipping, adding more budget on ads, or potentially even getting more aggressive on pricing if you're running a repricer. And then what we saw was this outer wheel effect as well, where as you get more sales, you're also going to get more reviews, and your index, the sales index on your listing, is going to be higher. So that's going to further increase visibility. So as you get more sales, your listing actually starts ranking higher because like Walmart or Amazon or eBay search algorithms know, like, okay, people want to buy this. This is a high value, this is high in demand. And so that's going to increase visibility even more. So you do see the cyclical effect where once you kind of get into that motion and get things moving, you're going to see some pretty significant growth. So month 1, for Earthwise Bags, they just put everything on 2-day shipping, and you see 69 orders month 1. Month 2, they add a few more items. They start adding some review optimization. They do 350 orders in month 2. So that's kind of that inner wheel starting to go. They put some ad budget behind it. They got all their items up. They're starting to rank for search, so that's pretty good. And then you see the outer circle in month 3. You see a lot of their listings getting reviews. They start indexing really higher on search. And then you see something like this, where you search grocery bags and they show up like 9 times. And that's pretty significant for them, in that now they've basically flooded Walmart search. And that's actually pretty easy to do comparatively because there's not a lot of competition on Walmart. And so, when can you think of searching reusable grocery bags on Amazon and seeing your listing show up that often on page 1? It's pretty rare. And so that's what's pretty unique about Walmart Marketplace. And we'll talk about that in one of our subsequent case studies when we talk about Red Fox Retail. But anyway, going back to Earthwise Bags, they did around 800 orders then, and they've stayed pretty consistent. I think they've gone up. Potentially 1 month they've reached around 1,000, but they've been pretty strong ever since. So it's around a 3-month ramp time if you're looking at Walmart specifically in order to get up to scale. So now we're going to go to Red Fox Retail, and this one's actually kind of interesting. So Earthwise Bags is private label, so they don't really deal with the repricing or the buy box too much. But Red Fox Retail, this is a pure reseller. So he sells oral B replacement toothbrush heads, and so he would be competing for the buy box is a big component for him. And this kind of talks about for them, he had a strategy on Walmart, which is actually pretty popular, which is source name brand products, go after top searches on Walmart because the competition for Walmart's so low. Now, obviously, Walmart's going to have less volume. They have a smaller buyer pool than Amazon. But when you look at, for Walmart, they have around 14% the buyers that Amazon does, but they have only 1% the competition. So that opens up a lot of opportunities here. And so for him, he's going after a really high volume keyword, which is Oral-B replacement toothbrush heads. If you tried this on Amazon, it would be insanely competitive, really difficult. You go into Walmart and it's just green fields. And so he got to the top of search right away. And also, I do think he was competing for with a few other sellers on the same items. And with Walmart, it's actually kind of interesting in that, obviously if you match on price and you have 2-day shipping versus the competitor who doesn't have 2-day shipping, you will automatically rank above them. In most cases, there's certain extreme cases where you don't see it, but most cases you do. And for him, that really helped in terms of capturing the buy box. And capturing the buy box on Walmart can be huge because you have such amazing placement here. The top search ranking for a really high volume keyword. So that was really big for him. And immediately he saw around 300% increase in sales, I think week 1. So, if you're on a really high volume item that moves very fast and you add 2-day shipping to it, match on price, win the buy box, make sure obviously you have a repricer to, keep it in touch, because sometimes some of our sellers lose track of that. You're going to see a pretty huge impact in sales. And some of our biggest sellers are actually resellers on Walmart. And they've done really well there. So this is a pretty interesting strategy because it's scalable. We went out and started searching name brand products on Walmart that you'd expect would be covered on, on Amazon. You have tons of competition. You have, these items are either in 1P catalog or there's just so much 3P coverage that, and all of them are running repricers that they basically eroded all margin. On Walmart, I searched Method soap and there wasn't a single Method soap item on 2-day shipping on Walmart. And there's a lot. Skechers, we just had a seller come in selling on 2-day for Skechers shoes. Nikes, I saw quite a bit. Axe shampoo's not on 2-day. There's so many items here where you can go to these name brand items, come in, put the item on 2-day shipping, get in front of a lot of buyers, and then scale it. And also, even if there's other resellers and they don't have 2-day shipping, this gives you a pretty big edge, especially if you combine it with a repricer like what SellerActive has. Then we'll let's talk a little bit about the ads tool, because when you come into a Deliverr for Walmart specifically, you get access to the ads program. And this is important. I mean, whether you're on Amazon, eBay, Walmart, you have to be running an aggressive ads budget, unless you're a pure reseller and you have such high volume on that keyword that it doesn't really matter. But if you're private label in any way, you want to be investing in ad spend quite a bit. So Equinox trading, pretty big home and kitchen goods, I believe. Private label seller, really big on Amazon, and looking at Walmart for the first time. What they would do is they'd put an item on 2-day, they'd put a really aggressive ad spend behind it for the next 2 to 3 weeks based on how that performed, and they'd look at, okay, should they add more items on 2-day or not? And it was pretty successful for them. You can see here, they had their first item, which was a kitchen towel SKU, did pretty well, and then 3 weeks later you see a very similar kitchen towel SKU. And then you'd see more and more where they'd kind of take over search terms. So when you see, again, the limited competition on Walmart opens up those opportunities. You don't see these opportunities in Amazon or eBay, or when you do, it's much shorter lived than on Walmart, just because there's just such a smaller seller pool on Walmart than some of these other marketplaces. Now let's kind of go to the eBay side. And on eBay, it's kind of interesting when you look at fast and free guaranteed buy, in that it indexes search a little bit differently based on the item. And so this is a seller, we can't disclose the item or the seller, but in eBay, what's really fun is that you can look at sales for the past, 30 days or 60 days. It actually goes pretty far. It might even be like 4 months now. And you can see basically how an item fares over time. And so this was an item, it was an art supplies item, and it was running standard shipping for free. And it was doing that in the month of May of last year. And then we added it on guaranteed delivery. And what happened was it doubled sales. What the seller did is that they even increased price by $4. So they increased price by $4, but they added fast and free guarantee to the item. And you see it double in sales for this one SKU. So this kind of speaks to how powerful eBay search is. You want to do anything possible to rank better on eBay search. And this was a unique case where they increased price, but added that fast shipping tag. And for that particular search term, eBay was looking for, okay, we don't care as much about price, and we care a little bit more about fast shipping than price. It's rare to see these occasions, but they do happen. and you want to take advantage of them if it happens. So for this seller, they were able to get much higher margin, much faster moving products, and it was really successful for them. So in terms of how to achieve fast shipping, we talked about it, with Amazon, you can either do it through FBA if you want to get on Prime, or you can do SFP. You can self-fulfill SFP. That's really tough. If Deliverr will take the items, I would recommend putting them in Deliverr fulfilled SFP just to get full coverage, Prime coverage, and to get really simple pricing. If not, just always the safest way is to go with FBA. So those are the options for Amazon Prime. If you want to go on Walmart 2-day shipping or eBay Fast and Free Guaranteed, you can go through Deliverr. You get automatic approval for both. Or you can self-fulfill. If you want to self-fulfill 2-day items for Walmart or self-fulfill eBay Fast and Free Guarantee, if it's an item that Deliverr doesn't take for whatever reason, you can try to do that. There is an application process if you want to self-fulfill. And, in terms of coverage, if you're filling out of one warehouse, you're going to be limited coverage. You're going to have more limited coverage on Walmart than eBay. Probably you're going to have the most limited coverage on Walmart self-fulfilling than you would on eBay or Amazon even. And also, you talk about the pricing is going to be a little bit tough if you're self-fulfilling versus using Deliverr. Want to make that very clear. If you have questions around self-fulfilling, I'm super happy to talk about that in a really honest way. Just because we do have a lot of sellers who they use Deliverr for some items and then they self-fulfill other items. And we've talked through some of the challenges and benefits of either option. In terms of if you want to go the Deliverr route for any of these programs or all 3 of the programs, which is now becoming pretty popular, you would connect Deliverr to your sales channels. You can connect Deliverr to Seller Active. Everything's pre-built. It's really quick, really easy to connect Deliverr to Seller Active. It's just a few clicks. You don't even need to contact anyone. Then you would send inventory to Deliverr, and then you'd opt into these fast shipping programs. And it's kind of like a menu of items, whichever ones you want. So you can opt into eBay and Amazon, or you can opt into just Walmart, kind of whatever selection is best for you. So step 1, we talked about, connecting Deliverr your listing to a shopping cart. We connect into Seller Active. We connect into a lot of different tools as well, a lot of different ways you can connect. But, we try to make it as easy as possible. And then sending, you would select the SKUs and units that you want to send, and then we would tell you where to send to. And then we get to the next step, which is opting into the different fast shipping programs. And so we're going to be adding even more fast shipping programs here over the next few months. So this will be pretty fun. So you'll have like a bunch of different options that you can choose from. And yeah. And so then talk about pricing. So the pricing is pretty simple. And that is really important, especially if you're running repricing. You need to know exactly what your margins are. If there's any variability in your price model, then you can't set that lower margin on your repricer. And so for Deliverr, we have that all-inclusive fulfillment fee. So, for an item, it costs, like let's say an iPhone case on Walmart costs $525, nationwide 2-day shipping. And that makes it super easy to understand your cost model so you know exactly how far can you compete for the buy box. And then we have storage fees, which is 75 cents per cubic foot per month. But again, those are fixed throughout the year. So, Amazon FBA goes to around over $2 per cubic foot per month. Between October and December. For Deliverr, it stays consistent. And so that makes it pretty easy in terms of understanding your storage fees. We do have long-term storage fees similar to Amazon. So, we do have that level of predictability as well. You can calculate your costs here. So you can put in your ASIN and it'll tell you exactly what the cost is to fulfill. You can see it for a 1-unit order, 2-unit order, 3-unit order. And it'll also show you storage rates. So it makes it really easy to understand. We want you to know day one, are you making or losing money before you even get started with Deliverr. So with that, Ian can talk about how Seller Active and Deliverr work together.
Sure, you kind of just crushed it, because it's really easy. Like once you use Deliverr, it's pretty straightforward. Essentially, right, you're going to ship your products to Deliverr after you have your login credentials and you've connected with your listing tool or whatever you're using, right? You're going to ship your products to them. You're going to enter all your product information into Seller Active. Now, you might already have this information, say on Amazon or something like that, and you're deciding to use Deliverr for the first time. Well, then from there, it's really easy for us to take that info and get that out to other channels. Once your products get to Deliverr, they're going to update us with inventory levels. We've just pushed a fix recently that I think made Michael happy, that you can now prioritize per sales channel. And we've got a bunch of other features hopefully on the way as well. So we're consistently updating this integration, and we'd love feedback from you guys to try to figure out exactly how you want to optimize it from us. You're going to list your products out. You're going to set repricing strategies on them. From there, you're going to make more money because you're going to have buy boxes captured and your orders are going to come in. From there, they're going to get over to Deliverr. Deliverr's going to ship it out to your customers. Your customers are going to be happy. They're going to leave you feedback, and you're just going to recycle and repeat that. And you're going to use Michael's flywheel effect. So it is really easy to use. We have great customer service here, and I know Deliverr has the same, and they've made their tool really intuitive. And so you can really get set up and rocking and rolling in no time at all. Essentially, I mean, I think from there, one thing I did want to just reiterate that Michael talked about that I kind of blew at the beginning is this prioritization for Walmart. That's a big piece of utilizing both of us. You know, if you're just on Amazon, you're trying to expand into other channels. If you've tried to apply for Walmart before, you can see it can be kind of clunky. But if you're going through us, it's usually pretty easy to get going. So I would definitely, focus on that and getting up and running there, especially before the summer and the holiday season. But back to the slides, I mean, we have a special offer for you guys. For customers that are going to be using us and they aren't using Seller Active yet, if you utilize Deliverr, we'll give you 50% off your first 3 months with us just to get going. And so what you need to do is just give us this code at the beginning of or a demo after you talk with our sales team, and we'll be happy to give you 50% off your first 3 months. You'll see that made up just in terms of the repricing profit you're going to make off the bat. So take advantage of that if you want. I think we're going to be running that through IRCE. So hopefully, if we see you there, you could come talk to us. I think Deliverr will have a couple people there. We'll see who it is, but we'll definitely talk about that there as well. And I think we just have question and answers at this point. Michael, how do you want to go about this? Do you want me to just kind of run through some of mine and then, or just kind of throw questions over to you to have you answer and then I can answer some?
Yeah, I mean, you can kick off a few questions, and then I'll get into it because it looks like we've got a few. And then leave your questions on the right-hand side if you guys have more, because we can probably do like 10 minutes of questions.
Yep, yeah, we still got time for questions for sure. So send some more over. One question is, how much is Seller Active? All of our pricing is directly on our website. It's pretty straightforward, and it's 50% off if you're not using us and use Deliverr. So just email sales@selleractive.com and we can answer that for you. How quickly can you get set up with the repricer? I mean, you can literally get set up in a day's time. Really, we just need minimum, maximum prices to get you rocking and rolling. If you have more marketplaces or you have, other softwares you're using, it might take a little bit of time. But one thing that you'll notice is that we provide one-on-one setup for all of our accounts at no additional cost. So we don't have setup fees or anything like that. And our goal is to get you up and running. I mean, even our most complex accounts can be up and running within 2 weeks. How does Seller Active's repricing software know how to win the buy box? Amazon doesn't make the algorithm public. They don't make it public, but they have APIs that you can tap into to essentially get pricing information from them, right? So think about any time there's an ASIN that has a price change, all of that is being centralized somewhere. And what Seller Active has done is figure out how to take all of that information and figure out, the best way to capture the buy box for you. Our parent company is actually a textbook supplier called BookBite. They're one of the largest e-commerce textbook sellers. And you can imagine how competitive that industry is. Essentially, I mean, really long-winded answer of saying our CEO is really, really smart when it comes to repricing tools and different things like that. And if you're at IRCE, come and talk to us because he could pick your brain for hours on end about how we capture the buy box and how we do it for our sellers. What you'll notice, though, I mean, if you do use our repricing algorithms, you're going to have 72% buy box capture rate. So it's definitely something we can help you with. Couple other ones.
Looks like I got some questions here. So we had a questions on batteries because it always comes up. All right, so we're working on batteries. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen before. I'm hoping before Q4. So it's something that we're gonna kick off work for it. I believe at the end of this month or next month, early next month. So we hear you. Lithium-ion batteries. It's a huge piece. A lot of people are trying to get this done. Trying to put their lithium-ion batteries on Walmart, on 2Day, or on eBay, fast and free guaranteed. So we're working on it, but it is coming.
Hey, for you, Michael, on that, are there other electronics too that you guys are going to be doing that you might not be doing right now, or is it just batteries that is like the big hang up?
It's mostly batteries. there's one other component though that we are changing, which is bigger sized items, particularly for SFP. Some sellers had some larger items that our pricing actually is pretty close to FBA on our SFP rates. And so for a little bit bigger items, look out in the next few weeks for a change to our dimensional requirements. I saw the change, I think yesterday morning. So it should be coming out live, and there should be an announcement in the next few weeks. So anyway, so we've worked through that. Hazmat is going to happen after batteries. So it would happen kind of sequentially. Once we do the work for batteries, adding more and more restrictions, like more like type of restricted products will become pretty easy. So Hazmat, I can't guarantee that it'll be ready for Q4, but we're going to hope. It depends how well batteries go before we look at Hazmat as well.
Sweet.
And I think we had a few other questions. Actually, some really interesting questions on SFP. So a question around, for an item on SFP, will it look different from an item on FBA on Amazon? Correct, it would. What it will look like, and we should probably share a screenshot next time, is it'll basically say shipped and sold by your seller name, but you'll have the Prime badge. Versus with FBA, you'll have the Prime badge and it said sold by seller X and fulfilled by Amazon. In SFP, it'll say shipped and sold by seller and then on Prime. And then another question we had was, is there any way to expedite us off the wait list, or do I have to get approved already through Amazon, through my self-fulfillment? Today, you have to be approved by Amazon for self-fulfillment. Unfortunately, we don't have that ability to pre-approve you for the Seller Fulfilled Prime program with Amazon. But if you're already approved, and if you go to the Seller Fulfilled Prime section in your seller account and it says, hey, I just want to opt in, then you can do it pretty easily with Deliverr.
Gotcha. We get this question pretty frequently about like geographical locations for Seller Fulfilled Prime. I'm trying to reprice, but I'm Seller Fulfilled Prime. It's only competing with regional buy boxes. Is there any way to get around that? At this point in time, they aren't, like, Amazon isn't essentially showing us through their pricing APIs, whether or not something's SFP or FBA. And so, our team is on Amazon's development council, and so we're working with them on this. So at this point, no, but coming down the pipeline, probably sooner than later, there should be some adjustments to that.
But good plug for Deliverr, you would get national coverage on Deliverr SFP. And
hey, so there it is.
That would help. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think there was only one more on our end. Well, there was one about private label repricing, and we do have that. It's called velocity pricing. Just email us and we can talk to you about that. But the last one was selling on Walmart and Amazon. So I've had Walmart listings removed for violating price parity rules, which a lot of people have. Can I use Seller Active to drive the price up on Amazon when I get the buy box and also change the price I'm selling items on Walmart for? And the answer is yes. We have price mirroring methods. And so you can do that for Walmart, where you're just adjusting to your Amazon price. You can also do it for your website, right? So if people can go to Google and search and they see your product, ideally on your website rather than the marketplace, you can capture that sale on your website as well. And I think that closes it out for my questions. I think there's some other ones for you, Michael.
Okay, let's look what else we've got.
What about this splitting orders one?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. So for splitting orders, right now, I mean, that's the benefit of with Seller Active. You can put some items in Deliverr, other items self-fulfill, and you can run it that way. I would say most of our sellers do that. There's only, if you do we have a direct integration with Walmart. If you wanted to do with that, that's the only time where all of your SKUs have to be in Deliverr for us to handle that, just because of a certain limitation with that integration. But for anything else, in terms of, if you want to put certain items in Deliverr and other items not, and you connect through Seller Active, you're golden. And basically you would set a warehouse priority list where you're saying, hey, Deliverr's top priority. As long as Deliverr has inventory, Deliverr ships it. But when Deliverr runs out, ship from my own warehouse. And that's really important, because especially when you get onto these programs, if you're already selling on Walmart or already selling on eBay, but you're not on those fast shipping programs, when you get on those fast shipping programs and you start sending inventory to Deliverr, expect inventory to clear out, twice, 2 or 3 times faster than what you're used to, which is a good problem to have, but still a problem to have, right? So replenishment's really important. That's why always having a fallback inventory source does help. So I do recommend it usually for most sellers. Only extreme cases where it's not that important. Questions around damages or anything like that, for that we have a claims process similar to FBA. If an item gets damaged, we file a claim with the warehouse or the carrier. We will ask you for the cost of good, and then if we get reimbursed, we reimburse you.
Sweet.
So I think I got all of the questions there, but anything else we can contact. We have the resources here. So they're the resources for Deliverr. You can contact info@deliverr.com, or you can go to deliverr.com and start live chatting with us. We have people there who are manning it right now through the day. You can go to pricing, you can calculate your costs, and then you can talk about some of the Seller Active links.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll shamelessly plug the cost calculator. You guys have that thing. Is pretty awesome. And I mean, anytime someone has a question, just literally go to it and you'll see how much you're making. I also thought the hidden gem you put in here that's, I mean, big time, is that you guys aren't going to raise your rates during the holiday season. Like, that is going to be tremendous for people. So if you're not going to take advantage of that, I don't know, you probably should find a different business to be in. But for us, I mean, go to selleractive.com, pricing plans, email sales@selleractive.com. You can go to our website as well. We have people live chatting that are ready to go for demos as well. Take advantage of the promo that we have to offer. As I mentioned, we're going to be at IRCE in a few weeks. Certainly feel free to come by. We do have a promo code for that as well. So if you want to email us, we can provide that to you too. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it, unless you have anything else to add, Michael.
No, I think that's it. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. I'll let you know if I'm going to IRCE.
Yeah.
And
we'll try to get him there. And also, our CEO is going to be down with Michael today. So if you guys have feature requests, send them my way, and I'll make sure I get them in front of him.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great day.